You're doing energy healing for cancer. How do you do that in a light, playful way when so much is at stake? In this video, I talk about the importance of lightness, of playfulness, of levity, and how you don't suppress the negativity while you're doing all that. So enjoy. I want to talk about something that will hopefully give us better results. And it takes a group to do a group healing. So part of this teaching is to just create a resonant bond where we're all thinking of similar ideas. Another is to help you gather. And another is to teach so that you can be more effective. And I teach what I need to learn, so I humbly offer this to you. And if you can improve on it, I'm all eyes. Please answer in the chat. So there's a paradox with cancer. Like when people hear that what I love to do is to work with cancer, they kind of think of me as this lofty human being that, I don't know, could endure suffering a lot, and I'm like, it's actually pretty fun. It's pretty fun to be in the presence of a hot cancerous tumor cooling down and the whole room filling up with light, love, and peace. It's actually a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and I can be very playful with it, and it is my most favorite thing to do because I'm good at it and because of all the light that emerges when we do it. But that doesn't mean I don't have a deep appreciation for the seriousness of a diagnosis like cancer or other diagnoses that I might work with. And there's a way that reverence and solemnity, is that a word? Actually, if they're not done right, they dampen the playfulness. They dampen the connection to source. They dampen the results that you get. So my mentor, William Bengston, has a 4-word instruction manual. It's very unconventional. And the first 2 words of this 4-word instruction manual are, be playful. And how do you be playful when there's so much darkness, when there's so much worry, when you're on death's door, or you just have a looming diagnosis that's worrisome? Maybe you've got stage 1 or stage 2 cancer, you still have years of life, but you've got this thing, there that's kind of dark, it's in your life a lot. Even if you're not thinking about it constantly, you think of it frequently, and it's not like a happy feeling to know that you have cancer. So, all right, so I'm trying to think of a story of how to illustrate this. I once was treating a woman in person, and every time she came, I was very happy to see her. Her tumors cooled down. I felt like we were doing good work. But I felt so anxious when she when I was treating her, and I didn't understand at the time. So I asked, and the answer I got was that I was taking on this anxiety that was leaving her, and I was in her field, and I was like not grounded enough or not aware that this was a thing enough. Or exactly how it was manifest. I was certainly aware that it was a thing because I've been doing energy therapy for a long time. I kind of know about energetic boundaries, but it's like I didn't understand that my anxiety was actually her anxiety. Of course, it was triggering my anxiety, but when I learned that I could, that's her healing. That's it coming out of her body. I was able to reframe that whole anxious feeling in me as I should be better grounded, instead of saying I should be better grounded, I should have better boundaries, this is her issue, not my issue, I was able to say, oh my gosh, it's happening. The healing's happening. That deep fear, that deep insecurity is coming out of her body, and I'm getting a whiff of it. And with that reframe, I was able to enjoy the process of being slightly anxious and feeling like, yep, that means it's working. It's almost like when you get dirty in the garden. Like, it's not that you particularly like dirt, but you kind of do if you're in there, and it just feels good to get dirty and know that you're planting the flowers and the crops or whatever you're doing. And so it's not that everything in healing needs to be, fairies and unicorns and butterflies, but it really does help to bring a lightness of our hearts to it. And the way I usually describe this is to be curious. But then I realized when you're scared, you're usually not very curious. And curiosity, if it's just in your mind, and I'm smart enough that I can just get curious in my mind and be completely disconnected from everything from my mind down, that's still just sort of a mental thing. And while it might keep you engaged, the curiosity that really lends to a lightness is a curiosity where you open your heart to loving the process that you're in with your healing. You open your heart to love. And you say, well, what in the world does that mean? It kind of means having that warm, fuzzy feeling in your heart, but it also means in your body, you expand your field to love everything in your immediate vicinity first, which is your client. They're with you, whether in person or distance, they're with you. They're in your little circle of influence right now. But it also includes the furniture, the chairs, the air, the weather outside, the cars, and then as you practice, you can, or if you're a meditator, you can expand this willingness to open in love to all that is. So not just, your immediate environment, but to all of existence. Like, that includes the whole universe. And if that's a big range, right? From, your client who you're touching to the universe. So there's a big range, but our hearts actually have the ability to do that. And it really cuts through the shame or the insecurity, because I might not know how to cure cancer. I might not know if I'm going to live, or if my beloved dog or mother or whoever I'm treating is going to live and thrive. I may not feel like I'm good enough at whatever technique I'm doing, but I can love. Guess what? I can love. Now you're saying, I can just hear it. I can hear it. If love could cure cancer, nobody would have cancer, because very few people would have cancer, because there's a lot of people who have died who were valiantly loved by their caretakers and their loved ones. So I'm not saying that this is sufficient, but this, just because the love is not enough, it is the environment that helps things thrive, and it generates curiosity. Like, if you're loving something, your mind does get curious, and you go, wonder if I try it this way, wonder if I try it that way. If you're doing the Bengston method, you can say, I wonder if I spin it this way, I wonder if I have, there's like, when I work with people, I have like 45 things I help them play with, literally, of ways to play with your cycle, and then I expect them to double or triple that, just because creativity is the name of the game. And when our heart is opening to love, that facilitates that vast creativity. And then you'll be trying this and you'll be trying that. And why did you try this and not that? You'll try something that you never tried before, and that freshness will interfere with the patterns that are keeping the illness in place. So it's very important to be fresh in that. Okay, so if we're trying to bring lightness into our treatments, one of the first things is is open your heart to the possibility of healing, and open your heart to just the present moment. And that can include uncomfortable things. So I'm not saying open your heart until you feel good. I'm saying open your heart so you connect intimately with the truth of the current moment and bring love to it, even especially if it's uncomfortable. If you are an empath and you can feel the fear that might have created your patient's cancer, you don't want to discount that. You want to bring love to that feeling in you that's, resonating with the feeling in them. And it's almost like you're milking it for its gift, because there's always a gift with darkness. There's always a light. With a shadow, there's a light. All right, good. So other ways to become light are a little beginning ritual or piece of art. Now, you don't do the very same ritual, but you do something in your environment to make it look beautiful, maybe you comb your hair, maybe you wash your hands, maybe you do something to prepare the physical to receive the non-physical. And it's a ritual in the sense that you're invoking the rule of as above, so below. And if you did the very same thing all the time, the very same ritual, after a while, you would need to deepen it and change it and cultivate it into something either more elaborate or more simple. So if you do ritual, it has to be a living ritual. But that is a way to bring lightness in, because then it's almost like the space is holding the lightness, so you can just be worried if you need to be, or you can be insecure and it won't matter to the healing, because more than you is like an opening prayer, something like that, something that helps you feel supported by, well, the prayer isn't a physical thing, but I like if there's a physical environment thing that helps you feel lighter yourself. It's kind of like putting your own oxygen mask on if in the airplanes, like you try to get yourself resonating with the possibility of healing. And sometimes it's pretty scary and you're pretty insecure, so you just do something physical to do it. It's like you delegate it to something that's not your emotions, because your emotions, if they're that's not a really great thing. Especially beauty. If you can bring something beautiful into your environment or make something more beautiful. Beauty is such a lofty resonator with healing possibilities. So I think that helps a lot. And then as we're working, we don't want to try to manage the field. I laugh because how can you manage the field? Well, we try all the time. We try to fill up the room with lightness so that our patient will get healed. We try to visualize them all better. It's like we're trying to manipulate the field. I think this lightness has to do with not judging the field as wrong, and just noticing how you can bring love to anything. Sort of like a relationship. Like if you have a really good relationship, say you're a man and you have a wife, of course you absolutely love it when she's happy and gorgeous and vibrant and devoted to you. But when she's not happy, when she's not gorgeous, when she's angry with you, if you're a good husband, you don't just like, okay, that's your shit, I'll do something, I'll just like back off until you come back. Like, no, you insist on what's the loving thing. How can you open her up to her light, which you can see? It's right under the surface of all those other things. How can you open her up? And so we kind of know this in relationships, right? So how can we open up to the miracle that's the healing response in our healee without managing it? Because just like a woman, we don't like to be managed, but we do like to be opened to the light that's inside us. So it's a coaxing, it's a invitation, and then it's a utter and complete acceptance of whatever's there, and then taking leadership for how can I bring love to this? How can I be present with this so that love emerges from this rather than more and more and more and more illness. And I think that is inherently, sometimes it's telling a joke, sometimes it's crying with somebody. It's not, there's so many permutations of what is the loving way to be here right now. But love is very light. And if you're not trying to be like sentimental and oozy with the love, you're just the love of pure consciousness, that at some level our dear Healy is the essence of love and healing and vitality, and you can see that in her or him or your animal, which is a her or him. Yeah. All right, so that's my talk about levity and light in the process of healing. Hopefully you got that it's not about being positive, but it's not about not being positive either. It's not about being serious, but it's not about not being serious. It's not about being reverent and aligned with the divine. It's about being interested in the present moment and how you can bring love to it, no matter what form of healing you do. So I do the Bengston Method, but you might do Reiki, you might do one of the million of other ways you do it. I think it's much more effective when we align with the present moment and bring love to whatever is here now than it is to escape the here and now and just bypass the physical and go up to the spiritual, which doesn't do nothing, but I just found it more powerful to be here now.